Welcome to the new episode of Life Force, a channel dedicated to make you stronger physically and mentally. Have a good trip across this podcast. Hello everybody, welcome on a new podcast on the Force Life. Today I have a really big chance because I have with me somebody really special, a really strong guy, and we will travel with him. We'll go on the seaside, we'll go until Croatia, because today I have the really big privilege to receive Mr. Saša Rajnović. Hello Saša.
Hello Laurent. What's up?
I'm fine, really happy because you are my guest today on this podcast, and you learn to me so many things, and I think with this podcast you can learn so many things to so many people across the world. So really big thanks, thanks.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah. Okay, Saša, I have so many questions, but my first question is I would like to know. You use the tools, you use a barbell, you use a bodyweight, you use kettlebell and so many things like somatic, I know. But my first question is, what is your favorite motion? What is your favorite exercise? If you need to choose just one.
If I was able to choose just one, it's really a hard choice, but I would say maybe a barbell back squat or a deadlift, something like that.
Okay. And I will ask to you, of course, which kind, because the point of this podcast is what is the best, let's say, kettlebell versus barbell. But before that, I would like to introduce to everybody, because to introduce you, me, I know you, but not all the world know you. So you are, first, you are owner of one gym. The name is Guerilla Kettlebell in the Rijeka, in the city, in one big city in Croatia. You are in the same time team leader StrongFirst for the Croatia, but you are more than that. You are a really big pedagogue and a really big person. So I would like the people know who you are before to start this podcast. Yeah, so I wanted to ask to you, okay, so you said to me your choice, if you can choose one exercise, it will be squat or it will be deadlift. But if I go one further than that, what is the best tools for you, the barbell or the kettlebell?
Well, it's a hard choice. I use both. I really like kettlebell. This was my let's say first tool of choice for strength work, strength and conditioning. But you know, when I didn't feel like barbell was something really important to me. But when I started to use the barbell in my training, I just I love it. Maybe even more than a kettlebell. But it's really a hard choice. For me, it all depends on which do you have available and what do you want to do with it.
Of course, yeah.
So let's say if we are talking about maximal strength, probably the barbell would be your best choice.
And if you need to compare for, let's say, beginners, you will recommend to a beginners to start with the kettlebell or with barbell?
Well, I would recommend kettlebell, but it's not necessarily the same for everybody. So I first started using kettlebells in 2007, and I started to use barbell, let's say 2014, I think.
Yeah.
So I have more experience with kettlebells, and I feel more confident with teaching the kettlebell than the barbell. And I think that the kettlebell is, let's say, a bit simpler than the barbell. So I would recommend it for. I do recommend it, and I do work with beginners, first with a kettlebell, and then we can move on to a barbell.
Okay, cool to know that. I would like to ask to you something and to come back on my first question. You say probably if you need to keep one exercise, it will be deadlift, but why?
Well, deadlift or squat, right?
Yeah. Deadlift. Why you will keep deadlift or squat? Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Well, first I asked myself when you asked me that question was, what am I doing right now, and which are the exercises that I enjoy the most?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my, let's say, first thing I thought about, right?
Yeah.
But now, when you ask your question like you did now, like, yeah, why would you choose this exercise? Well, it's because also not only because it's my favorite, but also because it's really useful.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say deadlift or squat are really some basic patterns, and if you just do one of those, you can get really, really strong in the rest of your body, not just in your legs. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's with just one exercise, you can really work almost every muscle in your body.
Mm-hmm. And when you teach to so many people to use the kettlebell and barbell, how is your way to work? Do you start with the people with let's say to learn a breathing exercise, and after to go on the posture and to go on mobility, after kettlebell and after barbell? What is your let's say your recipe of cooking? Like how you cook?
Mm-hmm.
But don't give the secret.
Well, usually on my first training session, I start with someone that is a new student for me.
Yeah.
Of course, I try to teach pretty much all of that at the same time. So let's say first we always do some mobility work, and if I see that the person needs some special drills to improve their mobility, let's say the regular drills are of no use or not enough for them, we can include some more exercise, some more drills.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say if everything is pretty much okay and they are healthy, the first drill I would do with them would usually be deadlift, kettlebell deadlift.
Yeah.
And through this exercise, through deadlift, I try to teach them how to breathe properly, how to maintain proper posture, and also, power breathing, activating their diaphragm, and so on and so on. So all of that is really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's and for them, it's usually at the beginning, it's really complicated for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And people don't know how to breathe.
I realize that too. Which kind of people come to your place, to your gym, or come to you for learn? Does it is people come from martial art? Does it is some, let's say, women who don't have activity? Which kind of people come to you?
Well, it's more than one kind of people. I have people training with me who are in martial arts. Some of them are even like trainers, coaches with their own gyms, from jiu-jitsu, from karate, and stuff like that. And I also have, middle-aged women, mother of 2 children, and training in the same gym at the same time, together with those people who are coaches of martial art.
Okay.
So it's not just one kind of people. There's many kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
All people who want to improve their health and their conditioning. And they don't feel like training some regular stuff in a regular gym. They want something different, so they come here, and it's people who are interested in the process of learning. You just cannot come into my gym and start waving with a kettlebell. You need to learn and how to properly handle the kettlebell or the barbell and your body in the end, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah. They come to you for learn and not just to sweat or just to, let's say, consume one services. They come to learn and to be patient and to be strongest every day. I think like step by step.
Yeah, that's right. And from time to time, some people who are, let's say, not into that, not into learning, some people think that practicing with a kettlebell or a barbell is just the same like everything else. They are superficial,
Yeah.
And then they just scratch the surface. The surface. They are not interested in what's
you're doing
inside. So from time to time they come and they go because for them it's boring. Why would they try to learn only 1 or 2 or 5 exercises? They can do like 10 or 12 or 15 exercises in one training. Every training they need to do something else. So they are not interested in that. So in learning the kettlebell skill or the barbell skill. And I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's got their own thing. And I'm pretty sure that training in my gym is not for everybody. I have a small gym with a small number of people. I really don't need 500 people in my gym. I'm happy with 50. That's cool.
Yeah. You focus on the quality and not on the quantity.
Yeah, well, let's say that I have that choice in my hands. So I choose to do this,
and
this is what I do right now.
Yeah, I have a question, and probably some people across the world listen this emission, this podcast. But do you see, maybe it's interesting to have your opinion or your vision, like how change, let's say, the students or members the last 10 years? Because one time we was in, let's say, bodybuilding, after it's go, let's say, some kind of functional training, and now, like people change, and change the way to training, and probably positively. But what you observe in the last 10 years, like, that the people are more educated and now they come back to the basic. They go to kettlebell before they don't go to kettlebell. There was a time of bodybuilding and now let's say they go on the Olympic weightlifting and kettlebell. Do you see some change?
Yeah, of course. I can see the change, especially here in Croatia. I see a lot of change. Like, let's say only 10 years ago, the coaches weren't so much educated like they are now. So I would say that for me, the competition in Croatia right now is pretty big. When I start to think about it, people are learning and everything is going forward. And in the end, I'm really happy for it because it's much easier to push, let's say, this kind of theory of quality training if somebody is also doing the same thing. If I was the only one who was doing it, then nobody would even know that this kind of training is existed. It's much easier right now. So I think people have a lot of choice, and so even the students are more educated than they used to be. So now you can see a lot of people who are searching for the best training, not the gym is the best equipped, but the gym with best coaches. So I think it's more important. It's a good sign.
What is for you a great coach? What is if some people need to choose a coach? What is the quality of the coach for you today? The main quality, the main one.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. There's a lot of things. just a few days ago, I was thinking about other coaches that criticize new coaches, young coaches, and they don't think about it like we were all without experience and we were all young at some point. When I think of myself, when I started to teach other people, like it was 2007, and the trainings I did were terrible. I was terrible, but I had to go through that to gain experience and to gain knowledge. You have to do something wrong. You cannot train people for 10 years and from the moment you started, you were flawless. It doesn't happen. I make mistakes even now. So what I think it's the objectivity of seeing yourself in like being critical to yourself, not ever thinking that you are really the best or good or that there's nothing for you to learn. So if you want to be a good coach, I think you need to have the desire to learn and also to the ability to say, I don't know.
True.
So if your coach is telling you that, my way is the best way and there's no other way to do something, I think there's a great chance that this person is doing a lot of things wrong, but at the same time, that person is not able to see that he or she is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the best quality is just for a coach is to move forward and always learn and like even you can learn from people that are not on your level. Let's say that your level of being a coach is 9 and my level is 5. You can still learn something from me. You understand?
Yeah, of course, I'm agreeing with you.
You are on a higher level. So if you think that there's nothing you can learn from me, you are wrong. That's just it.
Yeah.
You can always learn something from everybody.
I'm agree, Saša. I have another question because I know you teach a lot of things and you are really a master in that. And you teach from a couple of years now some somatic classes. Can you explain what is the benefit and in a few words, what is somatic?
Well, first I have to say I'm not an expert in somatics, but I started to use it with my students just because, I felt it could be of great help for them. And somatics is actually, just, let's say, we can say it's a form of learning or relearning how to use your muscles in the best way, in most functional way. So let's say what somatics actually is you just do some basic movements and you do them really, really, really slowly. And this way you learn how to use your muscles and how to relax them even better and how to use them more efficiently, right?
Yeah.
So whatever movement you are doing, let's say you do a biceps curl, like a favorite gym exercise. So you do a biceps curl, you can even do somatics with that, of course, without the weight. So if you're flexing your muscles to do a barbell curl, to do a biceps curl, so one side of your arm is activating, like flexing, and creating some tension in your biceps. And at the same time, you need to learn how to use your triceps too, and how to relax it. Because if your triceps is not relaxed, then you're fighting against your own muscles, right?
Yeah.
So you're not only fighting against the weight, you are fighting against your own tightness. So in the terms of efficiency, you are not efficient. I mean you're using more energy than you should. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So with somatics, you can learn how to do this really simple movement and spending less energy and creating less tightness, less tension.
Okay. Thank you, Saša, for this description on what is somatic. I have another question. You are not obliged to answer, but what is the secret for you for be strong?
Well, it's actually pretty simple. Do not miss your training and follow a really good program. But this is let's say, this is a basic recipe.
Yeah.
Also work on your weaknesses. Like if your weakness is bad mobility, then you should work on your mobility, and it will make you stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's good because you speak about some things, so it's enough. Saša, does you want to say more things? But I understand it's just the base of the recipe, and after it's a long process. But you spoke about programming. Do you think we need the programming for progress?
Well, you asked the right question because when you asked me what is the recipe to be strong, and I said a good program and do not miss a training. Train smart, of course, but I also know that you are not using any program.
Yeah, true.
And you actually become really strong. But did you become strong because you missed a lot of trainings, or you didn't miss a lot?
No,
right?
I train every day.
Every day, right?
Yeah, I train every day. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that even for you, program can be good and can get you even stronger than you are right now. So that's why I say a good program, because let's say you're a pretty reasonable person and you learn from a lot of coaches.
But the first one and the main one was you, Saša. I need to say to you, majority of what I learn is come from you.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. But you are not actually the average person,
Yeah.
For average person, I would still recommend a good program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like you're the living example of a person who doesn't need a program to become strong. But for sure, if you were using a program, you could get even stronger. But on the other hand, maybe you would lose some of your creativity or something else with that program. You just enjoy your training, and that's why you do it. You don't think about becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. You just do your training and you enjoy it, and that's great. For most of people, that will be enough, right?
Yeah, true. I know you use, of course, barbell, kettlebell. You use bodyweight training in your, let's say, classes a lot. How you use bodyweight training for your students?
Well, pretty much I use, some basic exercise. We can say pull-up is a bodyweight training. But sometimes we use additional weights if needed.
Yeah.
For some people are really strong and they want to become even stronger, and they don't feel like doing the 15 pull-ups for training in one set. So I give them additional weight, let's say 16 kilo kettlebell, and they do like 5 pull-ups maybe as their max. So I also use basic stuff like push-ups, and even when people learn their deadlift or squat, we also use this kind of basic exercise like bodyweight. I also sometimes use bodyweight training for people who want to learn how to work on their maximum strength using just bodyweight, because they, let's say, travel a lot or something like that, So they have a reason they cannot rely on a good program with, let's say, barbell, because they are in a different hotel every night, and not every hotel has the same equipment, and they travel so much that for them it's not doable to follow a program for barbell training.
Okay.
They use what they have. It's also an answer to your first question, which is better, like kettlebell or barbell, or even we can say bodyweight. The answer is what do you have available? That's also a good answer.
Yes, it is. It's a good answer, and I think we have so many things I can spend, and probably people some hours to listen you. But I think we'll make a conclusion on that. Like, yes, it depends of so many things and what you have for training and where you are probably. So So big thanks, Saša. Can I say to the people where they can find you, let's say on internet, on the, I don't know if you have, I know you have Facebook, but do you have Instagram? Can you give your info if the people want to contact you?
Why not? So my name is Saša Rajnović. I'm also available on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram too, probably under the name Guerilla Kettlebell. I also have a web page, GuerillaKettlebell.com, and I don't know, maybe they can reach me through you. You can give them my phone number if they need it.
Yes, with pleasure. They can contact me, and I can transfer all the contact with big pleasure. Your contact to the people. Yeah. Big thanks, Saša. It's always a pleasure to spend the times with you. I even recommend people to meet you in a real, because they will discover really somebody with a heart and soul, and with so many knowledge and so good pedagogy. I asked to you for a few minutes ago, what is the best quality for me for find a coach, and for me, if I answer, it's pedagogy, and you have a huge pedagogy, and I wanted to say again, thanks for what you shared to me during so many years, and thanks again, Saša, for this podcast and for everything you share to me and to everybody.
Well, thank you for having this podcast with me. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Thank you, Saša. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening this podcast. Doesn't hesitate to share it. You can contact Saša Rajnović on the social network. And you can contact me on the laurentduchene.fr and on the Facebook too. Thank you. Be strong. Take care of you. And see you soon for some new podcast. It was a Life Force mission just for you to make you strongest.